I'm joined now by the influencer and actor Bel Priestley. She starred in the TV drama Heartstopper and has amassed more than 1.5 million followers online after documenting her transition on social media. Thank you very much for coming in to talk to me about this.
Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling today?
I'm okay. Yesterday was a tough day and it's so hard seeing the news. I think it's so hard seeing so many people agree with such a, honestly, heartbreaking situation. Yeah, it's been really tough.
In practical terms, what does yesterday's ruling mean for you, do you think?
I think legally we're still yet to find out. Obviously, the Act came into play yesterday, so over time we're going to see how it's going to implicate us. But I think at the moment, trans hate crimes on the rise. I feel terrified. You know, you see situations like Brianna Jai, who is a 16-year-old trans girl murdered in broad daylight for being trans. And you see the way people comment about even someone like me online and the things people say. And, you know, what I always say is if you were walking down the street and you were a visibly trans person, would you feel more safe or unsafe? And I think we can all agree you'd feel terrified and unsafe. And that's how we all feel at this moment.
When we're talking about how you progress in your day-to-day life after this ruling, what are you thinking about just something as basic as going to a toilet? Which toilets will you now use?
I mean, until it's a law that we can't go into the toilet, I will always use the women's toilet as I am a woman. But if that does come into place, you know, if it comes down to biologically, you can't, no one knows your chromosomes or your biological sex. Only you know that. So are trans men now going to go into women's spaces? Am I going to have to go into a man's space? Because that puts me at risk. Also, I doubt the men want to be there as much as I do. So I think it's really scary, and I think, you know, it's so unknown. That's the fear. It's such unknown territory that it's really scary to know what to do in a situation.
Lots of people, including the government, talked yesterday about this law providing clarity. It seems to have provided confusion. How will you, and also presumably some of your followers are transgender, if you are confronted in, say, for example, what we've just shown, a female-only gym, if you were confronted, how will you deal with that? How will you cope with that?
I think you always have to rise above it. And I think in situations like this, education is so important. And I've always strived myself on being kind and being nice. That's how I've grown up. And it's all about education. It's about moving forward. You know, hopefully we don't move backwards. It feels like we are moving backwards at the moment, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. And, you know, I'll deal with that situation when it occurs. But hopefully, you know, anyone out there who is transgender, and especially a trans woman, you have to be brave and put on a brave face, and we keep moving. You know, the trans sisterhood is so important, and you just have to stick together and keep moving, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it should blow over eventually.
And I'm sure with what you've said and who you are, what you're doing online and also in your acting career, you're a huge inspiration to a lot of people who are listening. Bel Priestley, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.